Through the whole adventures on Elbaf, we have multiple things to be talking about. From Dr. Chopper actually slapping demons left and right. From other people getting actually Domi reverses and discovering even what the Domi reversi is and discovering the true world of One Piece, meaning Emu and all of that. To even a whole flashback that we didn't even ask for, but hey, that was a bonus, and thank you Ishiro Oda for that. But the flashback of Brook and also Princess Shuri aka Gunko was very interesting to talk about. And in this video we're going to be talking about a couple things, so hang on tight with your boy and let's go. And first of all, I wanted to talk about Mr. Dr. Chopper, because we've seen literally Dr. Chopper go around Elbaf and he faced a couple people that got Domi reversied, meaning that had a devil in themselves, and they got transformed into other devilish people, and they grew bigger, they grew horns, they grew wings and everything. And as soon as actually Dr. Chopper was faced with one of them, guess what happened? Dr. Chopper went to them and he started on flats, 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 one after the other, and guess what happened? Those people got healed just from the slap of Chopper, because basically from the slap you could see that devilish side, that demon that's in them, basically coming out of their bodies, their mouth, or whatever it is, and they get back to normal basically without them actually dying or anything happened to them. So that creates a perspective. People went like, oh, is Chopper actually the god of forests and all of that? That's a possibility, but I don't really believe so. I just believe that maybe that since he's in his awakened form that he was slapping, those devils left and right, maybe that there's a secondary effect to his devil fruit power, and basically by him having the devil fruit of the human and him basically becoming a human himself, maybe that by slapping people he's actually able to bring them back to their human state. That's a possibility to his devil fruit power. And in this case, I will say one thing, and I will say it one time for the one time. I will say that Dr. Chopper will probably be the one that will heal Gunko from her devil, from being even Domi reverses in the beginning when she was 16 years old, And from that perspective, we can hope that Chopper is going to be the one that will maybe relieve Gunko from her services, And when we're talking about the Domi reversi is basically a power that we've seen Emu use to actually turn somebody from being their regular self into a demon, basically. And that's without even their consent, no nothing. He literally can turn you without even you knowing it, And from that perspective, I was like, in this whole battle, if this battle actually gets kind of bad and all of that, maybe that some of the Straw Hats will also get transformed and will get Domi reversied. And hopefully that Chopper will be actually there to help them out. And I don't think that from that perspective that Chopper can get Domi reversied as well. And that's thanks to his devil fruit power. Because you're telling me that he can slap somebody's devil out of him? He cannot have a devil inside of him, because he will be able to instantly heal himself in a way. And from that same perspective, that also tells me, why Chopper? Is there anything really crazy about Chopper, about his devil fruit power and all of that? Maybe not, or actually maybe yes, because we don't know the extent of his devil fruit power and all of that, so we can just speculate and guess. And so from that perspective, maybe that Chopper is able to heal them because of his devil fruit power and all of that, but also maybe that he's not able to get possessed by the Domi reversi because he actually has already a devil fruit inside of him. Maybe that's a perspective. You guys let me know down in the comments below if you also think that if you have a devil fruit power inside of you, okay, you cannot actually get Domi reversied. Another perspective also about Blackbeard, because Blackbeard, his whole perspective is, get the strongest devil fruit powers you can get and, consume them and all of that, and you can go. So from that perspective, all of his crew basically has devil fruit powers and they all can use them and all of that. So from that perspective, maybe that they're already immune to Imu's Domi reversi from that perspective too. Food for thoughts. Then now we are moving to Brooke's flashback. Brooke's flashback was absolutely insane. From basically him living as a kid on the in the Asperia kingdom to actually growing up, discovering what life is, discovering how to use a sword, discovering how playing music and all of that all the time, to even growing with Princess Shuri. Princess Shuri was born and Brooke was already like 14 or something like that. So by the time he was 20, she was like 7 or so, and he was like kind of always watching over her like a big brother and everything, or even like a father figure or something. That was literally a beautiful flashback to watch. But from that perspective, a lot of people got a lot of information from it too, and one of it was that Princess Shuri was a man Meyer, and from perspective and from what we saw that from perspective, she actually does not look like her father, meaning King Ruin, and she looks yes like Candle, but at the same time her eyes are different. But then in one of the very last few chapters that we saw somebody else, somebody that's called Gra Meyer, and just from his name you go like, so there's a man Meyer. But then when you actually get close to his face, you go like, hey, he's got different eyes and all of that, so what's going on over there? And then when you actually understand and listen to what Brooke was saying about what used to happen in the kingdom and all of that, when he was young, he was saying that, oh yeah, a long time ago Candle was in her bedroom and she wouldn't come out for months and months and months, and I couldn't even see her and all of that. But then after that she came out, she got married to the King Ruin and all of that, and they had Princess Shuri, because he was talking to Princess Shuri at that time. From that perspective, and from that perspective, you can say that Brooke was actually a kid at that time, so he cannot know everything that's really, really going on. And from perspective, you go like, at the same time, the celestial dragon was there, and they said that something happened, something bad happened, but we don't know what happened. And then you go like, so Candle was stuck in her bedroom or stuck in her quarters for months upon months, and then Princess Shuri was born. So you go like, is there a possibility that she got R-worded or something, Queen Candle? Maybe, because literally the evidence is right there. The other person that we saw, Gra Meyer and all of that, literally has the same eyes as Princess Shuri. And at the same time, why did the world governments, even a God's Knights and all of that, and even a Gorosei come all the way to Asperia? Like, why? Because Asperia is not one of those, big kingdoms and all of that where stuff happens, no, they're just, selling instruments to live, and they're just making music, they're not that crazy of a country. They're pretty chill. So from that perspective, everybody was like, why did they come over to do all of this? And the perspective was because they actually wanted Shuri. And from there, I am sorry to say, literally Shuri is the daughter to Queen Candle, but at the same time Gra Meyer, because she got recognized as a man Meyer. She's in the man Meyer family. So 100% Queen Candle got R-worded when the celestial dragon came to Asperia Kingdom, and probably with him there was a God's Knight or two. And from that perspective, now I want to talk about a theory, and I'm calling it the theory of the eyes. And maybe that something is actually going on a dimension that we don't even know about One Piece, in the One Piece world, basically. And I'm talking about the fact that even that Princess Shuri, from what her father said, Gra Meyer, he was like, yeah, maybe you will be able to actually awaken those eyes, because he was not able to. So maybe that's the combination of Gra and Candle actually were the ones that made the possibility for Shuri to happen. And maybe by using both of their powers, both of their different eyes or something, that's how Princess Shuri might awaken that special power. And that special power, I'm gonna call it, she might be actually seeing in 3D, or in 4D in here, because we're talking about different kind of eyes, and when you actually see them, one is blue, one is red. So from that perspective, what does it remind you of? Me, that reminds me of 3D sunglasses, 3D glasses, for example. And when you're using those 3D glasses, that's how you can actually see, for example, the movie. Like, you can see that stuff is literally coming right next to you. You can see basically stuff that you cannot see if you're not using them. So from that perspective, maybe that Shuri is actually capable of seeing stuff that no one can actually see in the world of One Piece. And from that same perspective, maybe even Loki has something going on with his eyes that he hasn't unlocked yet. Maybe because from that perspective, why did even Loki, get born with the eyes that he got? And from that perspective, even his own mother that got him to live in all of that was like, no, that's not my kid. And she literally fell into depression and all of that. And we know the rest, So that's why I'm saying this theory of the eyes in One Piece is maybe something to actually dig into in the future. Maybe we need a little bit more evidence, maybe and a little bit more clues and all of that. So I'll be letting you know on that one in the channel at some point. So hang on tight for that video at some point when it comes out. Don't forget, your boy, to like this video and subscribe to the channel and comment down below everything you wanna comment down below about, and that way we can talk about it. See you next time. Peace.